Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. So, MIKAELA Mayer moves to 21 wins, 2 defeats, both of them very questionable. You can certainly make a case for MIKAELA being undefeated, but she defeats Sandy Ryan for the second time on the bounce. This time it was a unanimous decision. Last time it was a majority decision, and I think I had this 97-93 for Myer. Yeah, I mean, it was a strangely sort of easier time, at least for the first 7 rounds for Myer. The last 3 rounds she had to battle. But I get the impression that this fight was made a lot easier for Myer by Ryan, because for the first 7 rounds, it didn't look like she had any tactics. It was very disappointing what she was doing. And certainly for the first half of the fight, I'm sitting there thinking, what's she doing? What's the rhyme and reason to how she's trying to fight? It was very, very odd indeed, watching her not really know what to do. I mean, Myer started quick, and it should be said that Myer looks like a big welterweight now. How she ever made super featherweight, I do not know. She must have been starving herself, because she looks like a big, solid welter. Bigger than Ryan, who is a career welterweight. And she started very quick, and she's got fast hands. She moves nicely. She loves the straight punches, hooks occasionally, but she seems to enjoy sort of that mid-range, maybe boxing on the back foot a lot of the time, if the opponent comes to her. But it seemed to me that Ryan was wanting MIKAELA Mayer to come to her. Completely the wrong tactic, in my view. Completely the wrong tactic. And she was standing off, and I expected her, or I thought it was probably the best tactic, to just, from the moment the opening bell went, for Ryan to chase Myer, even if she risked getting clipped, just go straight for her. The moment you get in range, bang, anything, biceps, elbows, forearms, just keep that heat on her. And one of the main reasons for those tactics is surely that we've got 10 2-minute rounds and not 10 threes or 12 threes. I utterly despise 2-minute rounds. I can't stand them. It's a total sprint. I've said this 100 times, I'll say it again. 20 minutes of fighting for a world title is only 2 minutes more than a man's 6-rounder. And if the women want to have equality, certainly economic equality, you would think that, well, I don't know, I say that maybe. I mean, economics is based on all sorts of weird stuff, but let's put it this way, if they want to have the stature, the gravitas of the men's game, they've got to move to 3 minutes. Even if it's 10 threes. I mean, what are we saying, that women can only box 20 minutes for a world title instead of 36? Men's world title fights are double what the women's are, and in terms of time. And these sprints totally favour these speed demons who sort of nitpick and slide and slip their way. If you're a fighter who has a good engine, who likes to pick punches, who wants to go into the sort of the finesse side of fighting, of boxing, then you've got to have 3-minute rounds. I'm sick of these sprints in the women's game, and I like women's boxing, and I think there's a lot of good female fighters. But the 2 minutes, I'm sick to death of them. I'm sick to death of, the fight starts and suddenly it's over. What was that? That's like watching a man's 6-rounder. I'm sick to death of it. And, but it was the same for both of them, of course. I'm not saying that, it didn't favour Sandy Ryan in terms of style, but you've got to work with what you've got to work with. And it's not enough to say, well, if only it was 3-minute rounds, I'd have done better. It was the same for both of them. So you've got to say, well, what's going on here? I'm going to have to fight. I'm going to have to get stuck in. I've got 10 2-minute rounds. I've just got to get stuck in and let my hands go. And, the whole thing was bizarre, because MIKAELA was doing what she was supposed to do. Lots of speed, lots of straight punches, just moving her feet beautifully, controlling the range. It was a very, very impressive performance for the first 7 rounds from MIKAELA Mayer, but a rather bizarre one, a rather perplexing one from Sandy Ryan. It just didn't look to me like it was like she had in her head what she was going to do. And it wasn't until the 7th round that she finally decided, right, I've got to get in here. I've got to start throwing salvos of punches, get in, rough her up, maybe use a few of the dark arts, slow her down, bang that long body. And then with 3 rounds to go, suddenly she went to it. And she had some success. There was a cut over MIKAELA's, was it a left eye, I think? I think it might have been a left eye. That was caused by a clash of heads. She can't complain because she was coming in with the head as much as Ryan was. MIKAELA, I think she's a taller woman. I mean, again, it's bizarre how she made super featherweight. Gosh, she really must have been living on lettuce leaves because she looked big and strong up close. She was able to, move Sandy around and up in the clinches. It didn't look like Sandy. Sandy's a big, strong welterweight, but it didn't look like she was having total dominance up close. But she did have some success in those final 3 rounds and maybe little pockets of success previously. But Mayer was completely outworking her. And it was a deserved win for Mayer. She's beaten her twice on the bounce now. There's bad blood between the two, which wasn't really sort of quashed afterwards. It was a decent fight in one respect, that you saw Mayer showing some good skills. But I expected more from Sandy Ryan. I expected more tactically. I expected her to really leave it all in the ring, which you can't get going in round 7. You've got to do more than just round 7. It's from round 7 onwards. It's a 10-2 fight. She needed a knockout after 7 rounds. She needed multiple knockdowns. She wasn't going to get them. If you know that the other person is a speedy fighter who throws a lot of punches, you've just got to get in close and just bang that body, work that long torso, bang those ribs, risk it. And she didn't do that. But yeah, you have to credit Mayer. Don't get me wrong, I'm not taking nothing away from Mayer. She deserved the win, and now she moves on, and she is still the WBO welterweight champ. So what did you think of this fight? Let me know. Were you as frustrated as I was? If you're a Brit, you'd have been frustrated. I mean, again, Mayer's 2 defeats have been in the UK, and they've both been very questionable. I thought she'd beat Baumgartner. And I thought she beat, to be honest, I thought she beat Jonas as well. I thought it was quite a close fight, but I edged her against Jonas, but I definitely thought she'd beat Baumgartner. So let me know what you think about Mayer. Let me know what you think about Ryan. Let me know what you think about the fight. Comments below. And yeah, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the like button. Let me know what you think. I'll give you comments to read, and I'll answer as many as I can. In the meantime, thank you very much for your time, and bye for now.